What is going on, and welcome back to the Journeyman with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. Today we are taking on Roma in the Champions League and my lad Bolasov in the league, and form is starting to get better. Things haven't been fantastic since we were here last, but you'll see that in just a second. Now, if you do go on to enjoy this episode, of course, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It makes a massive difference to the channel, and YouTube does enjoy when you do the things that make the algorithm happy. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Right, fellas, so as you can see in our group, the early kickoff was Man City against Ukraine. Ukrainian side, Shakhtar. I stopped for a second because of the stuff that is going on between Russia and Ukraine at the current moment. So, yeah. So Shakhtar lost in their attempts to beat Man City. League-wise, we're sitting fairly comfortable atop the league. 4 points clear of Sparta Prague and Slavia Prague. Everyone now has lost at least 2 games this season, so our 2 defeats don't look so bad anymore. And then in the Champions League group, a win would put us ahead of Roma. We did, however, lose the last time we played them because I was going to come back originally for the other one, and I decided against it because it felt like it was going to be too close to the Man City game, which you saw us get beaten 3-2, even though I did celebrate quite a lot. We went on then to beat Caravina, and I was like, oh yeah, this is fine, the whole leading up to the Champions League match, no big deal. We then went and lost comfortably to Chesky 3-0. We never looked like we were involved in this game. It was so one-sided. We then went to play in Rome and got absolutely shit stomped. As you can see, Hamzic played at right back. I think Muller was suspended or he was injured. 5.7. Yarlin played a 5.8. We got absolutely dominated wide. Salimi played terribly. Vitek didn't have a great game. Tischler struggled. Gonzalez struggled. Carlsberg struggled. It was a lot of mess. We did try and get back into the game. It just didn't really work out for us, so that is unfortunate. But then we went and beat Slavia Prague, who just seem to be our whipping boys at the minute, which is fantastic. I'm not going to complain. Gonzalez and Chaldek both getting goals in that one for us. Then against Slovako in the most recent game, Dries Wouters scored a goal, and I was quite surprised. Tosic also scoring. I was quite happy. After the Roma game, we did change tack just a little bit. Because after these 2 games, I was like, maybe we just need to change formation and see if that makes a difference. And it has. Things are going, they're going better. They do want us to play balance. I'm not going to. We're at home for this game. So, as you can see, bit of a change to formation. We're going for like a vertical tiki-taka, but I've modified it fairly heavily. So, Tapia is going to be in goal for us. Muller and Barnes as our wide players, wing backs, I believe is what their technical term is. Vitek and Salimi are going to play in central defence. Vitek not playing as a ball-playing defender, nor is Salimi. They don't seem to be doing an awful lot with the ball when they do get it, so we're just going to play them as standard central defenders. Tischler is going to be playing in the hole as a deep line playmaker. We have Zach and Serrano in central midfield, Vizra and Carlsberg as a wide man behind Chaldek. We have gone for shorter passing, lower tempo, playing more through the middle. We're going to work the ball into the box. It's been working for us recently, so I'm going to keep doing it. We're playing higher lines rather than a much higher attacking line. We're not going to get stuck in. We're not playing the offside trap. So, fairly substantial changes from the tactic we had been using. As you can see, Dries Wouters is the only player not starting this game that started against Slovako because he isn't registered. He's also probably our best defensive midfielder that isn't also our best right back. So that's why Dries Wouters has found his way into the team. Because Milan Muller, easily our best defensive midfielder, but I don't want to be using our best pretty much our only good right back in a position where he's not going to be as influential as the right back. So I know playing him in the hole in between midfield and defence would be a good idea, but at the same time, I do like him getting forward. So we're going to see what we can do. Vidra gets... That would have been a penalty if Carlsberg hadn't scored it. But what I have discovered from watching and playing Football Manager is a lot of the time, if there's a foul in the build-up and you get to see the highlight of it, like Vidra getting hacked down by Pellegrini, there's always a goal coming. If you ever see a player fall over during a highlight, you're going to score a goal after it. We've actually been pretty good so far. 3 shots, 2 on target to Roma's 1 shot and none on target. They've had a 0.05 XG. They had a second shot that added a 0.01. So they're not getting too involved, it would seem. Jose Mourinho is seemingly having an interesting time, I want to say, in charge of Roma. I think they were like 8th in the league or something. Or was it 5th? It changes so much because the league's still fairly early on. Monaco are top of their group. Bayern Munich not topping their group, which is interesting. Wouldn't have seen that coming. Second highlight of the game has Roma, who I think, judging by the players, are rocking a fairly old side. Muller. Great defensive work. But nobody was alive to the fact that the ball was, clear. That could have been dangerous. By the looks of it, Man City are going to cruise to top of this group. I know we're second currently, if the result stays as it is. But I would still be quite happy with third. Chaldek also not having a great game. He's the only striker we have. It's either play him there or move Carlsberg up and take Chaldek off and bring on Mokoko. Or Yaralim. We have one striker that is eligible to play in the Champions League, because that's all we have registered. So while not ideal, it'll be fine. I have been looking at the finances recently, and we have a significant amount of money in the bank, but we don't have a huge amount of money to spend, nor do we have a huge amount in terms of wage budget, which is a little bit annoying, because I think while the squad is a little bit bloated, definitely could do with more strength. We have a lot of central midfielders now that aren't going to actually get an awful lot of first team football. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how best to deal with that, I suppose. Because we're struggling a little bit with just options. We've pushed Carlsberg to play as the striker now. He's going to play as a trequartista. Mokoko's come on to play on the left wing, and Ket has come on for Vitek, because Vitek was having a poor game, along with Chaldek, to be fair. So everything's going acceptably. We have 5 minutes left. We have a highlight. Ket finds Tischler. Vidra out to Muller. All his 5 crossing. Does the right thing. Doesn't go for the cross. Zach finds Tischler. Gets it to Barnes. Serrano. Mokoko's through. Mokoko. First goal of the season. Is it his first goal of the season? I feel like it's not. I feel like he scored more goals than that. But we are 2 up. So as it is right now, we have an aggregate score of 6-4. Which hopefully it doesn't come down to head-to-head, because we will not win. It's like Rangers playing against Dortmund. So it is. Topical. We are going to take off Vidra's not playing well and he's tired, but we don't have a right winger on the bench, so we're not going to do that. Although I could. No, not going to. We will take off Serrano. Give Serrano a rest. We're going to bring on Varel. Because why not? Give Varel a chance to run around for a little bit. He hasn't played at all for the first team this year. I think he's played mostly for the beat. Oh, kept trying to find Vorel, couldn't, and the ball's come across, and that was, what was his name? Santino? No, Satriano. Um, Vorel is a player that I'm big, big hype in the team. What am I trying to say? I'm a big fan of Vorel. It's quite difficult to find somewhere to put him in the team when my director of football has decided to sign every central midfielder in the world. So that's not ideal. But yeah, 6-4 on aggregate. We're still -2 goal difference, but we are now looking pretty. I think our next Champions League game is against Shakhtar. It's another 2.39 million in the bank for us. But yeah, like I was saying, finance-wise, like finances were fine. We have 22.761 million. We've just shy of 22.8 million, but our transfer budget is 87,000, and our wage budget is about 9,000. So not a huge amount of money to spend. So we're going to be back in just a second for the game against Mlad Boleslav, who are 6th in the league. Hopefully we can keep this good run of form going. I think this is probably the first time where I'm going to say it. Not playing high tempo seems to be working. Does not really suit the way I want to play, but clearly it's working out for us. So we will be back in just a second for the game against Mlad Boleslav. Don't go anywhere. It'll be an interesting one. Hopefully it'll be many, many goals. 6, 7, 10? Can we? Oh, imagine if we score 10. Right, fellas. So it is time for us to take on Mlad Boleslav now. As you can see, Victoria Pilsen are taking on Slavia Prague. Yesterday, Sparta won their game, so they've closed the gap to a point. But we do have this game to play, so we're going to get out there. We're going to do the business. We're going to smash everyone. Carlos Gonzalez is still away on a holiday, which I don't think I mentioned in the first part of this episode. He was exhausted, so he's gone off for just I think it was 2 weeks. The day he comes back, he actually plays for Guatemala, or the day after. I think he's played twice for Guatemala, and he's been off for 2 weeks for us, which is fantastic. So a few changes for this game. Stankovic comes into play in the holding midfield position. Kral is going to play in the box-to-box. And that's actually all the changes we've made for the first team. Bench is a little bit different because we have a lot of players who are available to start from the bench. They're the two changes. Just giving Peterzak a little bit of a break because he's a little bit on the tired side. So why not give the man just a small bit of a rest? The Victoria, Mlad Boleslav team look a little changed from where they were in their last game, it seems. So fantastic, everything's good. Chaldek, have a better game today, please, my friend. Thank you very much. As I'm recording this video, let me just check. The Slovan Liberec team in real life is actually just after kicking off 19 minutes ago against local rivals Jablanek. So that will give you a little bit of an idea of when this video is being recorded, letting you behind the curtain. And it is currently 0-0. So if anyone's actually interested, Slovan Liberec are playing in real life and are drawing. Hopefully we can do better. I did say it'd be nice if we could score a lot of goals in this game. I thought we'd potentially be a bit better than them. It looks like that's not going to be the case. seems like things aren't going completely. Oh, I just realised Dukla Prague and Listen being cut adrift at the bottom of the league currently. To be fair, Dukla Prague were in this position last year, managed to get themselves out of it. But we've had absolutely nothing happen in this first half. I know we're playing a lower tempo, but like, come on, lads, do something. Vidra not having a great game. Okay, when I said do something, I meant for us. Carlsberg's picked up the ball, finds Stankovic, back to Carlsberg. Kral finds Serrano, who is 1 assist away from breaking a season record of 13 assists, and we are not that far into the season so far. So he's been having a good time. We are playing him as a Mazzella on attack rather than the advanced playmaker in the number 10 position, which is where he's been playing most of the season. So that's definitely making a difference. But Serrano doesn't get his assist But Vidra has put the ball in the back of the net, so I'll take that. That's fantastic. He was probably the worst player on the pitch for us. Not anymore. Put the ball in the back of the net. Serrano's going to be a little disappointed that he didn't get his assist because the went off the post. So Serrano, a player who, to be fair, you might remember when he signed, I didn't think was going to be any good. Turns out, was probably our second best player, third best player. I'm not sure. I had a look at the Ghana side as well because answered before. Oh no, they're through, but Barnes picks up the ball after Tapia gets a touch on it. I had a quick look at the Ghana side because Anis before was called up to it. Still no member Barry. He is not being selected to play for Ghana, and I'm very surprised by that because I would have expected him to be like a first name on the team sheet kind of player. Turns out they're not his biggest fan, which I personally quite surprised by. But who am I to judge? I'm not their manager. So silly, I think. I think it's silly because they're playing not as good players, I would say, as Member Barry. But then again, we do have an affinity for Member Barry because he used to be our player. I'm thinking potentially Chaldek not getting as much of the football as he would when we played with the number 10, which is, I suppose, he's a little bit more on his own. But at the same time, I think I played him as a pressing forward for one of the games, and he was less involved. He played worse, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. We're gonna take off Kral, bring on Resende, but swap him over to be the Mazzella. We just make Serrano the advanced playmaker, and Stankovic can be a halfback. Speaking of, he's actually booked. We're going to bring on Vooters instead, who I played him as a halfback in the last time he played, and he scored. So let's see what he can do here. Serrano still can't get his 13th assist. Stankovic is doing his best to win the ball, and we've essentially just ended their counter attack. Serrano pushing to try and win the ball back. Pretty decent ball, to be fair, by Soucek. But that has not gone well for us. Denny Juric finds the back of the net just as we're about to make substitutions. I'm still going to make those changes, but we might be taking Chaldek off. I'm going to demand more. The squad just suddenly decided that they were not happy. Or maybe Salimi. I don't have a centre back to bring on. Actually no, I do. I can do this. And then put you up here. Move you over here. Bring Tosic on. Have you play as the trequartista. And then we're gonna just increase the tempo. Run at the defense. Distribute quickly. And just go much higher. I expected this game. Actually, push them inside because a lot of their attacking has been wide. So I am not a bit impressed with this so far. We have not been good enough. We're going to go attacking for the final 10 or so minutes. They've had 2 shots, 2 on target, and scored. Just the one, but they still scored. We're going to go a bit more aggressive. Be aggressive. Just have to use an attack midfielder on attack. Move the 2V forward just a smidge. You can be a complete wing back on attack, as can you. You're already playing as inverted wingers, so we're just going to leave it as it is there, and just hope we can do something. Because if we only come to this game with a draw, I'm going to be furious. We're going to go very attacking, and nothing is going to happen. We are going to draw with Milad Balasev when I was expecting a number of victory goals. I was expecting significantly better than what we were given. I'm not happy with your finishing. Chaldek really shit the bed in this one. Tosic didn't really give him an awful lot of time. I should have taken Chaldek off. Instead of bringing on Resende or Dries Voeters. So, we've learned a lesson. We're going to send the assistant to we had a lot of players booked, I think, by the looks of it. I wasn't keeping track. We have 15 players going out on international duty. So we're doing quite well. Our Czech left back is actually being called up. So Yarolim might actually get a bit of football because he's been in and out of the team so far this year. Could make his international debut, and that'd be nice. Have an international debut for one of our players. Tapia is close to getting a new or an increase in his wage. Sky's the limit. Okay, whatever. Club atmosphere is fine. It's our first league draw this year. It is. That's not ideal. So the next episode will be the game against Spartak Moscow and Victoria Pilsen, because we've already seen us getting smashed by Man City away from home, to be fair. So there's a chance we could do something against them in the home leg. I seriously doubt it, but we could come out of it with something, and then we'd be taking on Shakhtar to potentially decide, more than likely to decide, if we're going to be getting into the next round, which I would be very surprised if we got there. But you never do know. So if you did enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends, and of course I will see you in the next one.